Hello, this is reporter Davis from AVING News, and we are doing the pre-event online meetup with companies in Incheon Pavilion at CES 2024. So I'm with Hubert from Ubergizmo and a representative from Yujin Robot. Is that correct? Yujin Robot 맞죠?
Yes, Yujin Robot.
Yeah. So before the meetup, shall we test the audio and exchange some greetings? 네,
Sure.
자기소개 먼저 하시면.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Sean Park. I'm the CMO and also head of the AMS business unit at Yujin Robot. We are a manufacturer of smart automation systems. Our company has been in business since 1988, so over 35 years of business in various different fields of industries.
Well, congratulations. I'm Hubert Nguyen. I'm the co-founder of Ubergizmo. It's a tech media based here in San Francisco, Silicon Valley. And we've been around for more than 15 years now.
Okay.
And so we've been attending CES for all that time. And
Okay.
that's why we are so curious about innovators like yourself and your company. So it's very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you as well. Thank you for your time today.
Of course. Thank you.
So that means everyone's ready for this meetup. And so please proceed with your presentation. And after that, please feel free to have the Q&A session. Thank you.
Sure. I'm not really familiar with the Zoom. Is there a way I can show my screen?
Yeah, there's a share screen button in the middle. It's like a green button.
연두색으로 되어 있는 그 버튼이 있습니다. 화면 공유라고 써져 있을 겁니다.
제가 화면이 좀 이 카메라밖에 안 나오고 있어서 잠시만요.
하단에 그 연두색으로 이제 화살표 문양이 되어 있는 그 버튼이 있을 겁니다. 그 쉐어 스크린, 화면 공유라고 퍼져 있을 텐데.
제가 보는 스크린에는 그런 게 없어서요. 제가 줌은 좀 많이 사용을 안 해서 잠시만요. Got it. So let me see. Okay.
대표님, 저 에이빙 뉴스 임태욱이라고 합니다.
네네.
우선은 화면 공유 기능을 좀 사용하기 어려우시면 저희가
예.
그 자료나 전달을 휴버트 기자한테 할 거니까
예.
우선은 그냥 자료 화면 없이 소개랑 그 PT 해주시면 될 것 같아요. 네.
지금 아무것도 안 보이시죠?
네, 아직 안 보입니다.
예. 잠시만요. 한 번만 더 해보겠습니다. 죄송합니다.
네.
잠시만요.
제가 다운받아가지고 지금 제가 그 프레젠테이션을 띄우겠습니다. 어떤가요? 제가 띄우겠습니다. 잠시만요.
잠시만요. 저한테 받으신 게 있으신가요?
네, 받아가지고 제가 바로 공유하겠습니다.
예, 예. 네, 됐습니다. 감사합니다. So my apologies for the inconvenience. Can you see the screen?
Yes, it's great.
Unfortunately, I can't see the screen, so one second. Okay, so let me introduce Yujin Robot, our company that's based on Incheon, Songdo, Korea. If you can maybe scroll down to the next slide, please. Thank you. Our company, the next slide, please. So our company was founded in 1988. Currently, our CEO is Mr. Park Sung-ju, American name Sam Park. We are currently listed on the Korean Kosdaq Exchange since October 2005. We currently have around 160 to 170 employees. One notable fact is that about 50 to 60% of our total employees are R&D engineers. We believe that we have well, maybe not the most, but the second or third largest group of engineers related to the robotics field of engineering. The next slide, please. Okay, so our company was founded in 1988. At the establishment of my company in 1988, our main business was factory automation business, which is currently being led by the SAS business unit. SAS stands for Smart Automation Systems. Their business is in the field of providing smart automation solutions to their customers, namely in the automotive space. Their key customers are Continental, Vitesco, Hyundai Mobis, and a few others that are predominant market share leaders in the automotive industry. So our business in that field has been ongoing for 35 years. Still today, we cater to a lot of the customers in the domestic market, Korea. And in addition to expanding our business into the overseas markets, namely to the European market, we recently set up a field office in Munich, Germany, to cater to the needs of our customers in Germany, Hungary, Romania, and Slovenia. And then we also have some additional expansion out into the North American market, where we have just acquired a few projects for the Mexico plants as well, with Continental and Vitesco. From about 2000 to about 2005, we've done a lot of robotics development, coupled together with the funding of the Korean government, industrial and also in the military sectors as well. We've developed a number of educational robots, and also we've developed some conceptual robots as well, soccer robots, beer robots. One notable product that we developed together with the Korean military is the RoBHAS, the robot in 2004, which was a mine detecting robot that was used in the Kuwait-Iraqi war back in the early 2000s. And then in 2005, we ventured into developing robotic vacuum cleaners. And then we started doing some ODM and OEM development for Philips out of Germany. And then we started to develop our own products under our own brand name called iClevo. And ever since 2005, we are still undertaking the robot vacuum cleaner business as well. Not with our own internal iClevo brand, but namely to supplying the robot vacuum cleaners to our mother company, who is the premium appliance manufacturer called Miele out of Germany. So all of the robotic vacuum cleaners sold by Miele, they are developed by us and also supplied by us as well. In 2008, we've also developed some service robots as well. But then we switched our business model, going into the industrial business rather than the educational and also the service robotics business. In 2011, we developed a SLAM-based AMR development kit called Kabuki, which you see on the screen in 2011. That development kit was sponsored by the ROS community, and it had the name of Turtlebot 2. So a lot of people who are involved in the robotics development, they are not really aware of the company name Yujin Robot, but when you mention Turtlebot 2, a lot of the people, most of the people that are involved in the robotics engineering community, they are knowledgeable about this product. We sold over 21,000 units of this development kit. So a lot of the engineers in schools, academics, in institutions, they used our Kabuki platform to start their initial development on robotics. So that was a notable mention that I had to bring up. And then in 2016, we started our development with our industrial autonomous mobile robots, namely for products what we called go-kart. In 2016 and onwards, we developed our initial products, doing a lot of field testing, both in domestic markets and also in overseas markets. But then in 2018, we went back to the drawing boards because we felt that in order to be a viable, compelling solution for not only the factory automation space, but also in the commercial space as well, we felt that safety was a very important factor. So we went back and we re-engineered our robots so that it could be compliant with the ISO 13486 PLD level safety rating. So in 2020, we were acquired the ISO 13482 PLD rating, which was number 3 globally, and for the first company out of Korea. So all of our industrial robots, they are certified with ISO 13482 PLD safety rating. One notable difference between ourselves and our competition is that all of the key technologies for autonomous mobility, we developed ourselves internally. And also, as you can see in 2020, we also developed our own 2D and 3D LiDAR sensors as well. What that meant was that many years ago, back about 6 or 7 years ago, we felt that in order for the AMRs to be very sophisticated and also be intelligent, it was better to use a 3D LiDAR sensor instead of a 2D LiDAR sensor. But at the time, the 3D LiDAR sensors were very, very expensive. So we decided to develop our own 3D LiDAR sensors. And so we commercially launched our sensors in 2020-21, and we've sold to over 200 customers, and we are still using our 3D LiDAR sensors in all of our products as well. And in 2021 is the year when we started our own business rollout for the factory automation and also warehouse logistics automation and also healthcare logistics automation as well. Since then, we've launched a number of different projects, not only in Korea, but also in Europe and in some selected markets in the US as well, across the board from factory automation, warehouse, and also the healthcare logistics applications as well. In 2022, another factor that sets aside us from our competitors is that we offer a omni-wheel-based AMR, while most of our competition, they only offer differential drive type AMRs. So the product that you see on the screen, Go-Kart 200 Omni, is a product that we developed specifically for the healthcare industry, where this product is currently being used and sold by our Mille affiliated company out of Italy called Stilco, where they supply their sterilization equipment coupled together with our autonomous mobile robot, where our robot handles the transport of sterilized goods from point A to point B in hospitals. So that was a rather more extensive introduction of our company history. Right now, our company is focused on delivering our company with a vision of fulfilling total end-to-end smart factory solutions. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the SAS business unit offers a wide variety of different solutions for the automotive industry where they do factory automation solutions. And my business unit, we're focused on delivering autonomous mobile robots and also system integration, where our SAS business unit and my business unit can offer a wider, broad scope of the smart factory realization as well. So we can pretty much offer all of the hardware that can be installed on a factory floor up to the level of the MES or MCS software level. So that's our vision currently. Next slide, please. So a quick introduction about our Smart Automation System business unit. They offer different types of equipments, assembly automation, inspection of equipments as well, where they've done a lot of products for automobile ECU, TCU, and PCU units. They've done a lot of different types of equipments for assembling, inspecting automobile sensors as well, and also fuel tanks and fuel rails and many, many different types of applications. Recently, because we're now shifting from internal combustion engine to electric vehicle manufacturing lines, I think we're starting to see a transition where more and more demand is on the rise, setting up new vehicle manufacturers for the EV vehicle markets as well. So right now, I would say that for our SAS business unit, about 30 to 40% of the new business is related to the EV vehicle manufacturing, whereas we still have 50 to 60% of the internal combustion engine manufacturing line support as well. Next slide, please. So our business unit, we offer our autonomous mobile robots. They're called Go-Kart. Currently, we've launched Go-Kart 180, 250, and 500. The numbers actually reflect the actual payload that can be used on top of these robots. As I mentioned earlier, they've all acquired the ISO 13482 PAD level of safety credit, and also they can be connected to automatic doors and also can be integrated with elevators as well to be used in different levels of the factories or buildings. Okay, next slide, please. So as I mentioned, we currently focus more on the factory automation side. Right now, domestically, we're focusing about 80% on factories and about 10% on warehouses and about 10% on healthcare. Overseas in European market, we've deployed a few robots into the Mille manufacturing facilities where they transport materials for washing machine manufacturing process. Excuse me. And also, they've been deployed in Austria, several hospitals there. We're now in the process of doing POCs with several hospitals in Germany. And we've also launched a couple products with a hospital in Slovenia as well. So we're doing factory automation focused on healthcare. And also right now in the domestic Korean market, we've also entered into a warehouse logistics application where we've deployed 10 robots where they handle order picking solutions for order fulfillment warehouses. So although it's a wide spectrum of the business model, I think it shows that we're clearly capable of meeting different types of requirements for different types of logistics applications in different industries. Next slide, please. So I'll skip over the specifications for now. Next slide, please. And these are some of the sites that we've done field testing and also overseas deployments as well to show that we've done a lot of testing to validate our products and also to enable stability on our products as well. Next slide, please. Another factor that differentiates us from the others is that, as I mentioned earlier, all of the autonomous mobility solution technology is developed internally by ourselves. So we are able to offer not only the standard products, but also be able to offer customized AMR solutions. So for instance, we have a customer in Korea where they use about 300 pieces of carts that have a very low floor to the cart height, about 170 millimeters from the ground level up. So we developed a custom AMR where we can go underneath that cart and lift up the cart and transport that cart to wherever it's needed to be. So since we have the solution developed internally, we're able to be flexible in accommodating different types of requirements from different customers. So that's a very, very unique differentiation point for us. And also, it enables us to go into markets where other competition is not able to enter as well. For the custom AMR platforms, just to mention, We can configure with different types of sensors. If there are sensors that the customer wants us to use, we can also do that as well. We can put different types of superstructures, whether it be a conveyor system, lifting module, a gripper, or cobot, whatever is needed from the customer side, we can pretty much accommodate everything. The fleet management system is also developed by ourselves as well. We haven't physically tested linking 100 robots to it, but theoretically, we're able to put 100 robots on a single server-based location. Physically, we've tested around 30 robots. So this is the fleet management system that we use. It's used for mapping. It's used for setting waypoints and job orders for our robots as well. Multi-fleet management and operation. We can also set different types of robot behavior, such as not only autonomous mobility for the robots, but also if they need our robots to act like an AGV, we can also do virtual line following as well, where it'll only follow a specific line on the map. We can also set, stop and go procedures as well. So a lot of different job-related orders and settings that we can make on our fleet management tool, which on the next slide, we use. Next slide, please. Thank you. We use the FMS server, which will be located physically at the customer site. And then the balcony server we use to monitor the different robots on different levels of the customer sites. If it's a physically different level, then we can monitor those as well. And on the FMUI, you are able to see the different robots, where they're positioned, where they're going, and the right screen itself is the actual the tool that each individual user is able to see and use. Next slide, please. And we also provide different types of accessories that can be used our robots to enable different types of applications for our customers, whether it be, we call it the DIM series. It's a dynamic interchangeable module where we offer lifting modules, conveyors, the cabinets, fixed top modules, whatever the customer basically needs, we can pretty much accommodate everything. Next slide, please. And finally, the robotization solution that we offer, next slide, please, is, as I mentioned, because all of the technology is developed in-house by ourselves, we also sell the solution as a hardware controller, where we package it together with our 3D LiDAR sensor, our SLAM module, navigation module, and also our safety module as well. Next slide, please. And we basically have three different types of business models. Number one is the RP component package solution, where we sell our components together with the software solution, where our customers are able to develop their own AMR with our technical support and assistance. And with the AGV retrofit package, there are thousands and 10,000s of AGVs already in operation all over the world. And when these AGVs come to the end of their lives, the customers are looking to find a solution where their investment will be fractionally lower than purchasing a full new AMR. So what we offer is to be able to retrofit the existing AGV to become an AMR, where they can get rid of all the different types of infrastructure investment, like the magnetic lines and everything else. So that's the second business model. And then the last business model is that we offer our solution to a partner where we co-develop a commercial equipment, for instance, a forklift or a commercial scrubber, cleaner, where the customer wishes to have their manual equipment become a fully autonomous equipment. We can work with them, develop with them to become a fully autonomous robot, and we can also share the different types of manufacturing related issues as well. So those are the three different types of business models that we offer for the robotization solution. So all of this is packed together, not only with our standard AMRs, but also with custom AMRs, and for our system integration business, where our customers are able to develop their own AMRs or retrofit their existing products. And the next slide, I think we can skip the specifications as well. So in the next line, so that comes to the end of my presentation. Very quick. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a whole different world of robots out there.
It is, it is.
Yeah. So I had a question about like the forklift example,
Sure.
because that seems very interesting. I see those everywhere. So when you try to retrofit a forklift like that, are you limited to specific brands that you support, or can you customize?
Well, right now, actually, we've done a few POCs with a specific partner since about 3 years ago, Tucson. And we actually went to the point of finalizing the development, making the device fully autonomous, but we didn't actually proceed with the final mass production. Reason being is that we had some conflict of interest between Doosan and ourselves, where Doosan wanted us to develop the entire product, whereas we only wanted to account for the robot development as well, the autonomous mobility section, right? But it doesn't really matter which brand it is. But overall, although there's a lot of demand for the autonomous forklift, still there's some physical limitations as well. Compared to how human operators can operate the forklift and compared to what the robots can do, there's still a huge gap. And my personal belief is that the actual integration, implementation of unmanned autonomous forklift into the actual warehouses or factories, I don't think it's going to, it's going to take another maybe 2 or 3 years until it becomes a fully commercial product.
Okay. Yeah, because when you automate a forklift like that, is it with the goal of replacing the human operator for the same job, or is it to do a different job?
So the ultimate goal would be to reproduce the entire human labor. But as I mentioned, what I see is that the human labor, the human skills that they have in operating the forklift and how fast they can operate it. Right now, although the artificial intelligence has developed quite far so far, but still, in order to be able to be, compatible level with the human brain and operation of forklift, I think it still needs additional time.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. It's not like self-driving. You need to be
It needs to be
there's
it's also very dangerous as well.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, because those are heavy equipment, right? So
Right.
um, yeah, actually, before visiting a factory floor, I didn't know the AMRs were everywhere like that. Um,
Become more predominant right now these days.
So is the goal of AMRs just to avoid that people kind of walk around and go get stuff?
Well, I think the usability and the application of AMRs is every year is changing. One thing that we notice every year is that the overall payload requirement is shifting upwards. A couple of years ago, most people were interested in maybe 200, 300 kilograms. Last year, when we had exhibitions, it was up to maybe around 500 kilogram.
Hmm.
This year, we had a couple of exhibitions here in Korea where we saw that the demand was going up to 1 ton or 1.5 ton or 2 tons. So I think from the customer side, since they're making the investment as well, the additional proportional investment to have a higher payload robot is incremental, right? So they are trying to find how they can increase their overall ROI versus how much of investment they're making. So it's a continuing, ongoing calculation game from the customer side to see how can they can optimize their business.
Yeah, yeah. But I
And
guess something has to load the products on the AMR too, right?
sure, but when we deliver our robots, most of the time it goes with a superstructure, whether the superstructure is a lifting unit, conveyor, gripper,
Mm,
robot, or other different type of a mechanical fixture, where ultimately we try to eliminate uh, more and more of the human labor involvement to make it more autonomous and fully automated. So I think in the next maybe coming 2 or 3 years, you will start to see more and more applications where there will be more of the AMRs that can do more on behalf of the humans. And then we will also come up with more solutions that can work together with the AMRs to allow less involvement from the human side as well.
Yeah. At the beginning, you mentioned that the company had developed its own 2D and 3D LiDARs. And usually when I'm thinking about LiDARs, I'm thinking they are 3D. But what's the 2D version of a LiDAR?
Oh, so well, just like the name itself, 2D is only two-dimensional, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it can only scan horizontally or vertically, either or,
Yeah.
right? With a 3D LiDAR sensor, you can scan vertically and also horizontally at the same time. So we developed a spinning LiDAR sensor with infrared, where it's a 360 horizontal FOV, field of view, and
Mm-hmm.
it's an 85-degree vertical field of view as well. So what
Okay.
that allows for an AMR is to be able to have a more dynamic perception of the surrounding environment, right? So it also benefits a more safer operation of the AMRs because it can now perceive different types of obstacles, not only objects, but also dynamic obstacles like humans as well.
Mm-hmm.
2D LiDARs, they basically look most of them horizontally, right? And they only scan the front or the back side. They don't look and scan it on the vertical side as well. So that's the
Mm-hmm. Okay. But if you scan all around you with one beam, and then at the same time you scan. So how many beams do you have? Is it one or two?
we have one channel. It's a
Okay,
single
so one channel that goes like it's like a hemisphere, basically.
right. So
Okay.
we have the 2D LiDAR sensor basically will be a 360 one-channel scan, and the 3D LiDAR will be 360 view horizontally and also 85 degrees vertically as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, you might be limited in how high you're looking at.
Right,
Okay.
right. So with our robots, we don't place 4 3D LiDARs. We only place 2 LiDARs at each adjacent corners.
Mm-hmm.
We
Okay.
also use 2D LiDAR sensors as well.
Also, you use 2D lidar sensors as well, in addition to the 3D ones.
Yeah. 3D and also we use the 3D LiDAR sensors mainly for navigation, and then the
Mm-hmm.
2D LiDAR sensors mainly for safety.
Okay, so it's more like a proximity sensor or something like that.
Proximity also, because with the 3D LiDAR sensor, you can get a full perception of the surrounding environment, and that it's more beneficial for the navigation side. For
Mm-hmm.
the 2D LiDAR sensor, where we place it at the bottom of the robots, it's ideal for the safety issue related because it's only scanning the front for the back side.
Okay. Oh yeah, maybe that's for like stairs and things where you can
Yeah,
fall
and
down.
also we look at the ankles of people because we don't
Mm.
want robots to be crashing into people, right? So we're
Yeah.
looking at the ankle height level.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And so the AMRs tend to move very slowly as well, no?
Most of them currently in the marketplace, I think the maximum speed you will see is that without any payload, most of them can move anywhere from 1.2 to 1.5 meters per second, right? But with a payload, I think more and more customers, because of safety issues, most of them, it could be anywhere from 0.5 to maybe 0.8 meters per second. We can set and adjust all the speeds as well.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that's not slow. I think the ones that I've seen were much slower than that for some
Yeah, it's
reason.
not that slow, but
Yeah.
with 500 kilograms of payload, you don't want these robots to be speeding by really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So you mentioned hospitals and transporting sterile equipment, and I guess the goal here is to not have humans to contaminate the equipment.
So recently, about 2 years ago, we launched our robot in Slovenia Gradic Hospital, and at that time is when we had the Corona pandemic. And the main job for our robot was to deliver pharmaceuticals from the pharmacy in the basement level, from Ward A to a Corona COVID ward in another building, level 4. So they didn't want the human interaction because of safety issues, and they used our robots to deliver the goods from point A to point B.
Okay. And so if it goes into a level 4 area and then comes out, does it need to be cleaned or sterilized again?
I think, that was up to them at that
Mm,
time. I don't think they're still using it with that purpose at the current time. It's now generally being used for the general transport of goods from point A to point B.
mhm,
But in the case of our Omni 200 product, which is used in the sterilization process, I do believe because it's an IP5 rating where it can be um, lifestyle water resistant, waterproof. So I do believe they do some sterilization in the process as well.
mhm. Okay.
Now, a robot is actually only being used in the sterilization room. It doesn't go outside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it stays in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you mentioned that the company developed the LiDAR, does it mean um, it's not buying like like a LiDAR module from a third party company, or were you talking about just like the overall system?
So as I mentioned, we do use still 2D LiDARs. We buy from other companies, but
Okay.
the 3D LiDAR itself, we manufacture them our in-house factory.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay, so the final LiDAR product is
Yeah,
manufactured
manufactured
by
by
you.
ourselves.
Okay,
Yes,
and then it's made of subcomponents. Got it.
correct.
Mhm. Cool. So I'm surprised that there's no hospitality business, like
Uh,
hotels, restaurants.
well, good question. The reason being is that if you look at the whole landscape of how AMRs will become more valuable in terms of the market demand, as I mentioned, as we discussed, is to, in one way or another, replace the human labor, right? And after the COVID situation, more and more demand was increasing, and the geography of the demand came from the markets where there was more higher salary landscape. So at the current time, because of the pricing of the AMRs itself, of course, it varies from, other companies. Uh, Typically, it makes more, it's a better ROI calculation to adopt AMR solutions. If you have a factory where, if you're in the US or in Europe, where you have a higher salary personnel, right?
Hmm.
So basically in the US, it's about $100,000 per head, typical calculation. So typically they would like to get the ROI back within 2 years. So
Hmm.
everything is basically calculated against, what kind of an ROI will I get when I adopt a single robot versus others, system integration versus one person of human labor for 2 years. And that calculation is basically used not only in the manufacturing space, but also in the healthcare as well. The reason why we're not in the commercial, like hospitality, is that in hospitality, most of the human labor that's being used are very low wage people, typically around maybe 20 to $40,000 per person on a level of salary, right? So it doesn't give the better ROI compared to the manufacturing or the warehousing sectors.
Okay, yeah, so you'd have to wait a much longer time. And,
You would have to wait until the AMR pricing goes down really, really far.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you, for someone who's like not in that AMR world, what do you think are like the one, two, three main advantages of your company in that space?
Well, the main advantage of our company is, as I presented at the beginning of our call, is that we offer not only factory automation, assembly automation, but also we offer logistics automation as well.
Hmm.
There is no single company in the world, and you can look up the website, that offers both assembly automation, like factory automation with the equipments coupled together with the logistics solution as well, right? On top of that, we are a company where we develop all of the key technology, core technology for the autonomous mobility side. And we also offer a robotization solution where we enable our customers to be able to develop their own AMRs and build up the ecosystem, right? So that's another differentiation. I think we are a company in Korea. We are the first generation robotics company. In Korea, we're quite well known. And so with the name value that we have, with the engineering course that we have, We are also right now, our majority shareholder is Mille out of Germany. So our aim and our vision is to venture out into the overseas markets, mainly Europe and also to the US within the next couple of years. And we have a lot of good partners that are working with us. And we feel that, not only replace the human labor, but also make the quality of life of all humans, making it better and safer. That is our vision.
Cool. Sounds great. Thanks so much for answering all my questions.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that marks the end of today's meetup. Thank you so much. And 오늘 정말로 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
수고하셨습니다.
수고하셨습니다.
네.
네.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
네.
Bye-bye.